The top of the Empire State Building.
Z100, New York.
Family is here. We got AJ McLean in the building. What's up, dude? Welcome
What is
back
up,
to
man?
the Z100 Studios, my G.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be here.
These legendary.
If these walls could talk.
That's what I was gonna say. These
Yeah.
legendary studios, man. You've been a part of the growth of our station and vice versa, dude. I want to go back to the days when, you know what I mean, you're bushy-eyed and you always say bushy-tailed, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, yes.
Yeah, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Like, man, and now here doing it, like, gosh, how fun has this journey been for you, bro?
I mean, coming up on 31 years in this business next month. I mean, you guys really were kind of what kicked it off for us here in like the U.S. because it trickled down from Montreal.
Yeah.
Into kind of a little bit into upstate New York, and then once it got to you guys, the rest was history, you know, and then it just kind of spread. But obviously for us, you know, Europe and everywhere else in the world was loving us, and the US just wasn't ready yet, you know, because when we first came out, it was grunge and Dre and Snoop. It was Nirvana and Snoop.
Yeah, there's
no wiggle room for anybody like the Backstreet Boys or anything like that. But then, you know, obviously Spice Girls and then, you know, Hanson really kind of took off. And that really opened the door enough for us to squeeze through.
Yeah.
Once things kind of went through Paris into Quebec and Montreal, and then trickled down into New York.
Dude.
And man, here we are,
When
31
you
years.
Think about that journey, man. How awesome was it to? And we're gonna get into the solo projects and what you're working on now. But how awesome was it to be able to do that with your brothers, with people who, to this day.
I mean, yeah, dude,
mean the world to you.
we are really family. Like we've always said, like we are kind of our first marriage. You know, I mean, we fight like a couple, we laugh like a couple, cry like a couple. We've been through highs and lows like a couple. And yet we're still here together going strong. I think we're probably the closest we've ever been now.
Awesome.
This whole last tour, the whole last DNA tour, as far back as I can remember, this is the most we've hung out on days off. 4 out of 5 of us golfed every day off. Kevin is not a golfer.
That's just, all right. Yeah, I was gonna ask who is.
Kevin is not the golfer.
All right.
He's going glamping with his kids. He's
Where-
all about
where are
nature.
you in the scope of on the
golfing. Oh,
That's
I mean, I probably, I'm not single handicap yet. I'm working on it. I'm probably about a 10.
That's not bad,
but
dude.
I'm getting there. I just did All-Star Weekend, and I was talking to Steph, and I was like, "So what's your handicap?" And he's like, +2. I'm like, God bless. I mean,
some people are just.
but athletes usually are just well-rounded in all sports.
Yeah.
Not all, though. I've seen a couple football players. Like, I actually played.
Or basketball players like Charles Barkley.
Yeah, but, I mean, he makes that swing work. But, like, I played in DJ Khaled's charity tournament, and I had Myles Gaskin.
Okay.
And I had, oh, my God, who else did I have with me? I can't think of his name now. Oh, Cameron Jordan.
Okay.
They had never picked up a golf club in their life. So I'm like showing them how to play as we're playing, and it was so much fun. They gave it the old college effort. Miles hit a couple of good shots once he figured out how to connect the ball, but you know, a lot of these guys, they play football and that's it, or they play basketball and that's it. But
as you think about it, as we're reliving some of these stories right here, as you think about the amazing things that you've been able to do to fulfill your heart, to support your family, to, to make yourself, feel happy. What is that like, knowing that music has allowed you to be in these spaces, man, and that you get to do these things?
You know, I don't know. I still pinch myself, to be honest, because to be able to have this length of a career is already a feat within itself.
Yeah.
But you know, to be able to do something that is more so a hobby of mine, like it's just something fun that I love to do, singing and dancing and performing. I've been doing it since I was a kid, since I was 4 years old. And it's, you know, I'm going to quote Django, because one of those amazing scenes when Django is sitting there with Christoph Waltz and he's drinking a beer. And Django's like, "What's that like?" And then his answer as he sips the beer is, "It's like a reward." That's what this is. It's such a reward to go out and just do something you love and change people's lives with music. and with performances and with, taking people down memory lane. Like even now finishing this last tour, we're doing the same songs, obviously some new ones, but we're doing the same songs. And to see this audience react and now bringing their families, their kids, or it's just ladies' night, which
It's a whole
which turns south real quick sometimes because the ladies will pregame, they leave the husband and the kids at home and they come out and they let loose. They go hard. I thought Vegas was like them going hard, but even on the tour, man, they're having a good time. And that just is so rewarding. Yeah. Because you'll never really get to know these people on a personal level per se. Maybe some fans we do know on a personal level because we've talked to them. They've been at the hotels. They followed us everywhere.
Yeah.
But
along with you.
Some of them I know by their first name. I know their moms. I know where they live. I know their job. And it's like, you don't have to tell me these things, but you feel comfortable enough because you feel that connection with the artist. And,
The most special thing about what you just said there is that you're building these connections based off of what fills your heart, what makes you happy. You being you since the age of 4 and being able to have, sure at this point, multiple passports full 10 times over.
I've been through quite a few passports. I'm about to have to get a new one now. I'm stamped out. I'm stamped out.
And you're connected with so many people where there are multiple times where English isn't even the first language. But
that's a fascinating thing is that you go to some of these countries and they can't even talk to you. Yeah. But they can sing every single song word for word.
That's special.
Our first trip to Tokyo ever, like language barrier, but they knew all the words. And it was just like, you get a little emotional up there on stage and it's just like, wow, holy crap, man.
And you get to carry those memories with you forever. You get to evolve. You get to grow as a human, as a person, as a man. And it turns into, just so many more special, again, memories, circumstances, instances, stories that you get to tell that now at this point in time in your career, it's not AJ, it's Alexander James.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like
government out there.
It's like Miss Jackson if you're nasty. Except Mr. James if you're nasty. No, that sounds weird.
No,
Mr. James sounds like, hello, it's Mr. James. Nice to meet you.
That's
kind.
more posh.
Spot of tea. Thank you very much. Kind sir. Yes. So a little backstory to that is we finished up the DNA tour this past May in South Africa, and we were done off. Yeah. So I decided to take a little journey, a little self-discovery journey to Scottsdale, Arizona. And I spent literally the entire summer in Scottsdale. It's hot.
I was going to say, isn't it like 137 degrees?
It got up to 120. And I still was on the golf course, mind you. That's how crazy. I know, but come on.
Yo, dude.
Hey, it's a dry heat. But I ended up going to a place called the Meadows for a intensive outpatient program for kind of like trauma, depression, anxiety, kind of PTSD, dealing with, like, my sobriety is solid. Yeah. But I wanted to go dig a little deeper and figure out what was kind of the root of all these things, because as an alcoholic in recovery, and as an addict, you learn the drugs and alcohol is not the problem. Mm-hmm. That's the symptom. There's something more deep-rooted that causes that. So I wanted to get to the bottom of that. So dealing with like abandonment issues and all these things. And the one thing that I took from that the most was authenticity, finding my real self and learning that, some of my boys over the years, when we finish up a tour, they'd be like, all right, I'm punching out. And I never really understood what that meant. Yeah. I'd be like, what, punching out? What do you mean? Like, we're rock stars. We got to keep going. No. Yeah. Like, now I understand what that means. It's like, okay, AJ is a Backstreet Boy. He is a persona. Cool. Yeah. And I'm never going to bite the hand that feeds me because that's my own hand and I'm sensitive.
And it hurts.
And it hurts. It hurts. But for people to get to know my authentic self, that is Alexander James. That is... Before I was ever AJ as a kid, when I started doing theater, I was, any autograph I signed my full name, Alexander James McLean. So I had to shorten it, which is where AJ came from. Yeah. But to introduce the world to me as who I am, this, we were sharing Funko stories earlier. Like, I'm the Funko nerdy Marvel sneakerhead goofball from Palm Beach who loves horror movies and, like, anime. You know, so, like,
dude, manga
that's
is
me.
my jam.
Yeah,
Go.
so to really get people to understand that there is a difference. There is two people that can coexist in the same body, and to just be my true authentic self. So it's
how proud are you of yourself to have wanted to, first off, put in the work and see and reap the rewards of it, you know, now, and to know that you've really tapped into a different chamber in the heart.
I am proud of myself, and I can look at myself in the mirror today, and I actually like the person I see. For years, I couldn't even look in the mirror. Yeah. Or if I did, the person I saw, I didn't know who that was. Mm-hmm. And to look in the mirror now, and look, am I 1,000% happy? Am I the happiest guy on the planet? No. Nobody is. Yeah. It's a work in progress. You know, it's progress, not perfection. And I'm continuing to grow and learn each day. But I am more present now with anyone and everything in my life. I will say, I said this to my amazing publicist, and she's been with me for 15 years, 16.
16 years.
Is I told her, I literally just told her like maybe a week ago, and I said it like I think yesterday. I'm like, my schedule is getting to be a little I'm gonna have to get an assistant at some point. Like, I never thought I would ever have to do that, but it's like, my brain is all over the place, so I'm like, I need a little extra help. I need a little extra help, even though I have the most amazing team between my publicist, my social media team, my amazing manager Johnny Wright. I mean, everybody has just been so supportive, and my bandmates are very supportive of this project. You know, I've been playing it a little loose to not play every song for them, because when I do that, sometimes you're like, "Oh, dude, can we have that song? That's a great Backstreet Boys song." I'm like, "No,
hey, fam.
no, 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 no."
Boundaries.
Yes, exactly. Oh, dude, that's a word I learned this past summer. I never knew what that meant. Yeah. Like to really implement that in your life is a huge thing for anyone. Like, I think boundaries. I think, like, you know, protecting something like, you know, barracks and all this kind of stuff. I don't think in the emotional state. Mm-hmm. And actually, while I was in Arizona, one of our classes that we had, we were watching this video from this amazing woman who I never heard of until now, Brene Brown.
Okay.
She does an amazing TED Talk. And one of her kind of mantras that she created is this phrase called braving. And braving stands for boundaries, reliability, accountability, vault, integrity, non-judgment, and gratitude. And I would show you, but I have it tattooed on my arm. AJ. It's a reminder every day. So I'm living my life braving every day.
Oh, gosh, man. And what's special is that those types of emotions are coming through the speakers when we get this music now, dude.
Oh, yes.
Yo, so
you're getting a whole different... Like, the first solo thing I ever did back in 2009, even listening to it recently, every song does sound like a Backstreet Boys record, because that's where I was in my head. Yeah. I hadn't found myself yet to know what's going to be my identity. But now, maybe one song on this album could have been done by us, but even still, no. Yeah. Everything is unique to me, and there's a lot of storytelling on this record. There's also just a lot of fun on this record. For example, the single Electric
man.
is
this
just
song is fun as hell. It's funky.
It's just fun,
dog. It's exactly what the video just dropped. It's all about you being at the roller skating rink. Yeah. If you're playing video games, let me ask you this, AJ. You're playing video games. Is it Mortal Kombat or is it Street Fighter? Which one are you going with?
I mean, dude. Well, actually, for me, it was Tekken back in the day.
Tekken, damn.
Eddie, baby, Eddie Gordo, all the way. All right. Roundhouse kicks for days, bro. I mean, if I did play Street Fighter, Goro.
All right.
No, not Goro. It was
you have Ken and Ryu.
Baraka.
Yep. I do remember him.
And then but for so Mortal Kombat was a big thing on our tour bus for years. Each of us had a character. Nick and I were obviously the two best characters, Scorpion, Sub-Zero. Howie was Kung Lao. Brian was who was Brian? Oh, Brian was why can't I think of the main guy who goes to Outworld?
I'm picking up the phone now.
Oh my God.
So let me see.
Kevin was raiding.
All right.
Why
Hold
he
on.
turns into a dragon
Here we go.
for his
Here we go. Kung Lao. Liu Kang.
Liu Kang.
There it
Thank
is.
you, Liu
Yeah,
Kang.
with the red.
God.
Yep, with the red. Liu Kang.
Liu Kang, that was Brian. And so like we all had our the new MK is kind of insane.
many,
I haven't got the new one yet, but there's so many downloads
Oh, dude, yeah, dude.
for the new one. You can get like characters from Invincible. You can get Freddy, you can get Jason, you can get Terminator, you can get like
it's just like all across all universes.
it's so
now.
awesome.
Yeah,
And the
this is sick.
fatalities now
they're
have
next
gotten
level. Oh man, it's
above it. It's almost nauseating to watch. It's like Jesus.
You gotta put the kids to sleep.
I'm like,
before they play the
yeah.
game.
I'm like,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh man. Let's circle back to the sound of electric and the nostalgia feel, the fun, the funk, the energy that that just resonates. How fun was it to put this record
I mean, this was
together?
such a great record to make. Working with some really talented writers, and then my longtime buddy Keith Harris, who is the MD for the Black Eyed Peas. He's our MD, Grammy Award-winning producer, insane drummer.
Yeah.
When we got in the studio, how I write is we kind of go in. I've already got concepts in my brain of like a genre, a style, mid-tempo, slow, fast, whatever. And I said, dude, I just want to do something throwback. I'm like obsessed with 80s funk, like Heat Wave and even Zapp and Roger, all that stuff. Like that's where I wanted to kind of go, at least with this song. And then it's kind of trickled down into other songs on the album that still have that kind of Silk Sonic throwback phase.
Yeah.
But this one, as we were writing it, once we got to the hook, first thing I thought of was a roller skating rink. So I wrote on my little paper, I wrote the treatment down. And this is the 6th or 7th video I've co-directed with my best friend. I've directed all my solo videos when I was doing the country thing. The Backstreet Boys Chances video was directed by me and my buddy Renee. And then this was directed by me, Renee, and Richmond and Tone Talawega, who were our dancers, then choreographers, then stage designers. They just did the Michael show here. They're just,
if you get the chance to see that.
yeah, I haven't seen that. I want to
Take
see
your time,
that
dude.
bad.
Take the girls because I know your daughter big time.
But man, and now my kids have the bug. They go every weekend to the freaking rink. And dude, they're crushing it though. Like they're getting lessons starting next week. I'm like, can you wait for me? Because I don't want to have you guys doing circles around me. I just learned how to go straight.
Save, dude.
With
save. My
and
girlfriend took me
I
for the
can
first
turn
time.
now.
Save.
Like I can turn.
Yeah. Meanwhile, they're over here ushering the game.
Oh, dude,
Usher,
well, that's
Super
what's
Bowl
so
type.
crazy is hats off to Usher because in his residency, that wasn't part of the show when it started, and it slowly got added, and now it's a major part of the show, and in my opinion, the best part of his Super Bowl performance.
Sick. Oh, yeah.
Obviously, all his music is timeless, but I was sitting there watching the game like, you better get on those skates,
Yeah, you
boy.
better.
You got to get on them skates, boy.
Yeah.
You got to, and I
Dude,
mean,
you did nail it.
just the whole flippers movement.
Yeah.
And ironic, my publicist and I were walking around the village 2 days ago. Was it 2 days ago? Or was it? Yeah, sorry, yesterday. In a vintage shop, found an original Flippers sweatshirt.
Wow.
Original. And I'm like, oh my God, this is meant to be. Like, I have to
Cop
get
that.
this.
Cop that.
I almost wore it today.
Oh, dude.
And I can't wait to show my skater girls back home. They're going to be like, that's sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, like the Flippers
Cool,
movement
but-
is back,
Dude.
.
It must have been so fun to see the final product of this video, have it come together with this record, and as you said, to have this type of energy throughout this album. What else are we gonna get? We were talking before we press record here. You got your buddy T Pizzle. You know what I'm saying?
We got some stuff with me
T-Pain.
and T-Pain.
Man.
I went to Atlanta to do some
By
writing
the
with
way,
him.
he doesn't go by T Pizzle, does he?
No, I mean, he might go by a lot of names.
Yeah, but that sounded weird, dude. I take that back, T-Pain, man.
But here's what's crazy. So I've known Payne since 2000, I want to say 9. He worked with us, with Backstreet, before Kevin came back to the group. So for that whole time, him and I stayed in touch. We had a Nerf battle at my house. We exchanged shoes, and him and I were just like, we
Are
just
you size 9
connected.
and a half, bro? Like,
Well, he's a 12 and a half, but I made it work. I stuffed that shoe with as much as I could because they were custom Air Max. I'm like, dude, you're gonna have to cut your toes off to fit in mine. I got to add some tissue in yours. But what's funny is I never, and I'm gonna have to Google it now because I'm gonna butcher it. But what's so crazy is I never knew what his real name is.
You come to think about it. Yeah, man. Come to think about it, I had no idea.
Here's what's crazy: Fahim Rashid is his real name, and he's born in 1985 in Tallahassee, Florida.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was in the studio with him, and I was yelling, "Yo, Payne," and he wasn't answering, and I was like, "Rashid," he's like,
turn around instantly.
"What'd you call me?" I was like, "Yeah, I got you, Google." No, but like him and I just got in there and we just started vibing, and he's so sweet. Like he's so sweet. I sent him pretty much all that I had cut up to that point, and he's like, his exact words, he's like, "You don't need me, dude.
Man.
Like this stuff is insane. What do you?" I'm like, "No, but there's something about our vibe together. Yeah. I would love to just see where it goes." So we did some great shit. We got probably 8 songs. We picked 2 that are just undeniable. Then he comes to LA to do promo, and he hits me up at like 3 PM. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing today?" I said, "Nothing. I'm done doing press." He's like, "Come to Palmdale. I want you to be in my video." I'm like,
"Wow,
what? Palmdale?" I didn't realize how far that was from LA. In traffic.
It's a solid.
Took me 3 hours.
Like
I was like, "Dude, this is how much I love you, bro." But what's crazy is I roll up on the set, and I'm like looking at the set. I'm like, this looks oddly familiar. We shot our Never Gone album cover shoot at this location.
Wow.
Then he comes out of the set, and he's wearing this all gray suit, red tie, and I'm like, "Why are you looking like Pee Wee Herman right now?" And he's like, and he just smiled at me. I'm like, "No, wait a minute." And then I see bikers and biker bar, and I'm like, "Are you recreating Pee Wee's Big Adventure?"
That's what it was.
And he did it shot for shot. Like as we're filming, we're referencing on YouTube every line shot for shot. And then I'm like, "So what do you want me to do? Like, am I going to be in like biker gear?" He's like, "No, wear what you're wearing." I'm like, "It makes no sense." Yeah. But we got up and did the Pee Wee dance together. So I can literally sit back and die happy saying, I'm in a video with T-Pain and Snoop. I didn't get to meet Snoop because he shot the day before, but still. I'm in a video with T-Pain and Snoop.
Out of all the amazing things
the box has been checked.
There it is. Didn't have that on your bingo card.
Nope,
for 2024.
did not
at all.
And
to have what I want to go with that particular story is to have someone like that who you have that synergy with. To know another musical and just creative genius, and that
he
you guys
really
just work too well together. What does that mean to you as a creative to know that you have that energy with someone else?
To have that energy and to have that kind of rapport and friendship, like we reconnected back in November in Abu Dhabi with the NBA, and I hadn't seen him since we worked in the studio together, and it was like we had literally saw each other like 4 days prior, like we just picked up where we left off. Talking, connecting, and I'm like, "Hey man, I'm working on a solo thing. I'd love to get in with you." He's like, "Done." And I'm thinking, okay, he said done.
Yeah.
I probably won't hear from him. 2 days later, he's like, "Yo, these are the dates I'm free. Let's book it." I'm like, "Let's go." And he made it happen, and he's just so grounded. And like I saw this interview he did a couple days ago on Instagram, and somebody asked him a question, like something about, if you could change anything, or like what inspiration can you give to people? And he said something along the lines of like, "You know what? I did my best. If all the people in my life just know I did my best, and I will keep doing the best I can. I'm not perfect, but I did my best." And that really hit me because I can relate. Like I've done my best. I'm not perfect. I don't want to be perfect. But I've done the best I can to be the best dad, the best bandmate, the best son, the best father, like all these things, like the best I could be. And I feel that now, God, and I mean, I wish I could play, like literally just give you one of the songs right now to play.
We're gonna have that
first.
Thank you, AJ, for that. And it's gonna happen when it's meant to happen.
Oh,
you know what I mean? We're not gonna brush the process.
Oh no.
It's
I mean, dude,
but
because I'm still in the studio. I'm still, we have the first of 2 EPs will be coming out soon. So it's gonna be 2 EPs and then the full LP.
Sick. Oh,
I have this whole vision in mind.
what I see right now is Tom Cruise, Minority Report, moving around the screen. You got it all there, dude.
My brain never stops.
There we go.
Same.
Same.
And it's so great to be able to be as hands-on with this whole project and really have the support of my team and everybody kind of seeing the same vision.
Yeah.
And,
The heart's full.
no disrespect to my boys, but I don't have to run things by and have to vote and all these things.
Understandable.
It's like I'm voting with myself.
Yeah.
Good.
There we go.
Bad.
Lastly, man, before we put a bow on this conversation, man, what does it mean to be on the road with another extremely talented boy bander, but from a different crew? You and Joey Fatone, man.
Me
Getting out there.
and Joey Fat One.
Yeah, man. You said it.
Fat One.
You said it. Yeah, Joey's one of the. I had the opportunity to hang with him a few different times when we were going across America and co-hosting some Double Dare lives.
Double Dare.
Double Dare. Nickelodeon Double Dare energy with Joey. So it's been a minute, but you guys going out, hitting these cities and making people, like you said earlier, just kind of go crazy over the nostalgia energy, and you're having fun on stage.
This was kind of it started back in Vegas a couple years ago. Joey hit me up. He was putting together this like 4 or 5 show mini residency in Vegas called the After Party. And it was myself, Joey, Nick Carter, and Wanye Morris from Boyz II Men. And it went off
Crazy.
Better than we could have even dreamed. And then from there, Joey asked me if I wanted to do it again, just him and I. So we did a show in Tampa, and we did Formula One, 2 different crowds. Formula One's corporate, and they lost their mind, and then we have our fans, and they lost their mind. So he's like,
Everybody's losing their
so
mind.
so he's like, what if we made this into a short little tour? So we put 9 shows up, sold out.
Yep.
Just added 20 more. Gonna keep adding. We do have closest to the city's Newark, March 23rd.
Let's
you
roll.
guys gotta roll through.
I'm pulling up, dude.
It is such a fun show. It's unlike anything else you'll see. It's kind of like a Vegas review. I mean, there's comedy, there's a lot of crowd participation, interaction. We singing each other's songs. I get to sing songs from NSYNC that I was a fan of that I never thought I'd sing, except in maybe karaoke.
Yeah.
But I'm singing it with a member of NSYNC.
and
Like,
vice
okay.
versa.
And then we do a lot of covers, but like covers you would not expect us to do, like songs like Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Yes.
We're pulling out the stops. And Joey just asked, what was one of the first songs I sang when I used to audition when I was younger? And I'm like, God, I couldn't remember. And then it hit me when I auditioned for Lou to be the founding member of, Backstreet. Didn't I Blow Your Mind This Time is what I sang. But I did the New Kids version, not the Delphonics.
All right.
But I want to put that in the show, but I want to put the Delphonics version in.
Damn.
And
Hey, homage to that
Joey's
old school funk that's in
yes,
your heart right
but
now.
Joey's song was She's Like the Wind. I'm like, I said, okay. I said, here's the only way I'm going to be cool with you doing that. If you start She's Like the Wind, and then halfway through you go into Now I Had the Time of My Life, and I run and jump into your arms. You have to, because he's not jumping into my arms. Let's just say that I'll crumble.
Yeah, lower back issues.
Yeah, a little bit. But it is such a fun show.
Love that guy, man.
It's a legendary night, literally. And, if you don't have tickets, go get the tickets.
Hurry.
You can get them on
Don't walk.
Ticketmaster, Spotify. You can follow myself and Joey and AJ Presents on TikTok and on Instagram. And it's such a fun show, man.
Well, I can promise you that you will see me there. We're not going to make any side conversations about matching tattoos, side story that you guys don't need to be privy to right now. But we're going to have fun.
Maybe matching shoes
matching
or
shoes.
camo.
We can do that.
The camo thing,
we can
yes.
do that. All right, yeah, man. But,
camo. And you will also, so I am going to be also doing electric in the show, as well as 2 unreleased, unheard songs from the first EP. So,
dude, AJ,
it's going to be awesome.
Oh man, you know what I want to take away from this conversation here is a newfound friendship, a newfound relationship that we're building, a newfound just gosh man, camaraderie, bro.
Yes.
You being so true to who you are and always striving to be, as you said, your best self is something that I cannot thank you enough for opening up and being, truly vulnerable in that regard in this conversation, man, because that's just where my heart is now. That's where the fans are even finding a stronger connection to what you've been able to do to make us smile and move and dance over all these years. But now it's like that extra layer that we're just wrapping our arms around a little bit tighter, dude. This is it. And this is, gosh, man, this is the jump of something that's really, really fresh for
I
for
do
you,
really believe this is my time. This is the time, and this is things are moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
I'm super grateful.
Do I say to make it cheesy? Times right now are a bit electric. Do I?
Hey, times right now are yes, they are. Well, nobody could see that. They just heard me go. What?
You guys had better be watching this interview at Z100.com. It's AJ in the building. Love you, bro. Seriously, man.
Thank you. I'm clapping for myself. Look at that. There you go.
From the top of the Empire State Building.
Z100.